Welcome back to Capital Conservatives. Today, we're diving into a jaw-dropping Senate Judiciary Committee moment as Senator Kennedy grilled nominees Mr. Subramanian and Mr. Pitts. Some questions were downright shocking. This is a must-watch for anyone following our judiciary. Let's start with Mr. Subramanian. Senator Kennedy jumps right in, asking if Subramanian ever made a B, and he admits he has.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations to all of you. Mr. Subramanian, looking at your resume here, have you ever made a B?
I believe I have.
Oh my gosh. How many?
I wouldn't know the numbers right here.
Then Kennedy asks about his time at Sussman and Godfrey and how many hours he billed last year. Subramanian says he's unsure, but it was over 1,000 hours. It's a moment that raises real questions about transparency in the legal profession. Kennedy turns to the Dobbs decision leak, asking Subramanian about the breach of confidentiality. Subramanian stresses the need to protect sensitive court information and how he trains clerks to respect these rules.
You made partner at Sussman and Godfrey in 4 years, is that right?
I think that's correct, 2011.
How many hours did you bill last year? About 1,000, sound about right?
I'm sure I worked more than 1,000, and I'm sure...
How many hours did you bill last year? I'm just curious.
I'm not sure about the exact billables, but I am sure that I worked more than 1,000 hours because my wife we've had conversations about that.
I bet. In your career at Sussman and Godfrey, it's a great law firm. How much have you ever sat down and calculated the total amount of money you've collected for all your clients?
I've never done that math.
I'm curious, you clerked for Judge Ginsburg, is that right?
Justice Ginsburg, yes.
Justice Ginsburg, yeah. I call all judges judges, even if they're justices.
Kennedy highlights the ethical obligations of Supreme Court clerks, underlining how leaks impact public trust. Subscribe for more pivotal Judiciary Committee moments. Then we turn to Mr. Pitts. Kennedy digs into Pitts's clerkship with Judge Reinhardt, reading from the Yale Law Journal about Reinhardt's high reversal rate and approach to the law. Pitts responds calmly, emphasizing he'd apply the law fairly and objectively if confirmed.
I'm curious what you think about the leak in the Dobbs decision at the court.
I think that the violation of ethical rules that apply to all court members, which includes absolute confidentiality, is a very serious matter. And I know that the Supreme Court has investigated that particular matter. And certainly one of the things that I've thought about in how I structure my own chambers is to make sure that all members of the court family, including the law clerks, understand the requirements of confidentiality. These are high-value matters to all the litigants, and confidentiality is vital.
Yeah, well, you've got a very impressive resume. Mr. Pitts, you clerked for Judge Reinhardt, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. I was looking at a piece published in the Yale Law Journal. You didn't write it, but this is the way the author described Judge Reinhardt. She said, I'm going to quote a few lines, if that's okay. The judge, Judge Reinhardt, is open about his disdain for the path the Supreme Court has charted during the last few decades. He scathingly repeats the claim that judges are supposed to do law, not justice, shaking his head as if the statement alone were enough to establish its wrong-headedness. He views his prodigious reversal rate. He was reversed a lot by the Supreme Court. He views his prodigious reversal rate with the Supreme Court as a mark of distinction. Do you agree with that judicial approach?
This segment highlights the importance of judicial philosophy and integrity in the judiciary. The hearing ends with Senator Kennedy stressing personal accountability, asking nominees about past mistakes. He thanks them, reminding everyone of the need for transparency and ethical responsibility. This is Senate oversight in action, sharp, thoughtful, and rigorous.
Thank you for the question, Senator. If I'm so fortunate as to be confirmed, my only approach as a judge would be to apply the law impartially, faithfully, fairly, and objectively to the specific facts of each case before me. That would be the only approach I would take to the role.
So you disagree with Judge Reinhardt's approach?
As you noted, this was a secondary account. I don't know if that is an accurate account of his approach to the law, but I would...
I think it pretty much is. We all know that.
My goal as a judge would be to apply the law impartially, faithfully, and objectively, and to ensure that every litigant who comes before me feels that they've been treated fairly and with dignity and respect.
Were any of the sexual harassment allegations that were made against Judge Reinhardt, any of those allegedly happen when you were a clerk?
No, they did not.
Okay. Have you ever made a B?
I believe I have.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
Senate Judiciary hearings reveal who's shaping our legal system. Today was no exception. Hit subscribe for more critical updates from Capitol Hill. I'm your name with Capitol Conservatives. Stay informed and